fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday the 26th of December 2022. Have you ever noticed that nobody ever says Happy Boxing Day? It's just not a thing people ever do, is it? We don't say Happy Boxing Day. Weirdly, we have Happy Easter and Happy Christmas and Happy Birthday and Happy Anniversary and all that kind of stuff just about every other day, but not Boxing Day. What is this prejudice against Boxing Day which doesn't allow us to wish it wish it happiness on its own day? Well, let's redress that trend, shall we? And I'll say Happy Boxing Day for the first time ever. My Christmas Day, I've said many times, I think, to ad infinitum, but we don't have Christmas here in Thailand. But I decided I was going out yesterday to buy an expensive meal for someone and enjoy my day. And it started okay, and we went to this very nice, trendy restaurant, which was very busy, lots of people. It's, one of these super high-class shopping malls. We tend to have shopping malls of varying degrees of expensive items, and this one is like one of the most expensive that we have here in Bangkok. It's frequented by, ambassadors and, those kind of I was hobnobbing with VIPs and stuff like that. But anyway, So decided to go to a restaurant that I like particularly, and the last time I went there was 2016. I happen to have a memory of it, but it's a place that I do like, but I just haven't had a chance, obviously with COVID and stuff, not of going to this place. And it has kind of fusion a menu with all different types of food, and so I ordered like a lovely salad and cheese with Italian spinach and cheese with Italian sausage and ham and stuff like that, and then the main course with crab soup, and the main course I had was sea bass in noodles and a kind of oriental gravy. I can only describe it as that. In Thailand we have something kind of similar, which was what the phrase that they used on the menu, but it wasn't the traditional Thai kind of food. And it was filled with various spices, and it was really delicious. I really liked it a lot. And I if you're new to the channel, you might not know, but I have anosmia, which means I can't really smell, so I don't really get proper taste. Sensory, the sense of taste is rather lacking with me, but this was really flavorful and I really liked it, and it was mildly spicy. I thought, just like here in Thailand we often eat kind of spicy food. I don't eat it every day or anything like that, but from time to time I have some very spicy stuff and it burns the mouth. There was nothing like that. And as I was sitting through the meal, just coming to the end, I started to sweat, and my partner looked at me and said, I probably thought I was like sweating because of the bill, like this is quite an expensive place. But no, it wasn't that. I said, I feel bad. I feel really bad. And I hadn't had any alcohol. There was no booze. And I thought, I'm never going to make it to like a dessert or anything like that. And I had nothing to drink, no alcohol or anything. I started to sweat profusely, and I started to get a stomachache, and I started to feel bad. I said, I've got to go. So had to pay the bill and get out. And I said, I'm sorry, I've got to go home. I just feeling awful, really awful. And I managed to make it home, and did not have a pleasant time in the bathroom. I won't go into detail, but it was not fun. And had to kind of sleep for the rest of the day. Sleep through the day, really, and meant that I didn't manage to have my annual video call with the family back in the UK or anything like that. And really not a very nice or pleasant Christmas day for me. But the food really did taste good, but it must have been the food. I can't think of anything else. I mean, that, logically it had to have been the food. I don't know if it was food poisoning or there was some kind of spice in there in this mixture. I have no idea what the food was. It was a kind of mixture of Thai and maybe Indian flavors with various other spices. I just don't know. But it wasn't that spicy while I was eating it. But possibly I had an allergic reaction, or there's some kind of spice that is a kind of stealth and creeps up on you and somehow like takes over your body at a later time. But I was absolutely awful. Even 5 hours after I'd eaten, my nose was still streaming yesterday, absolutely streaming. But anyway, I did manage to sleep and recover, and so I think I'm back to normal today, thank goodness. So hopefully you had a better Christmas than me. If you are new to the channel, and this is beginner's day, it's Monday, welcome first of all. And how to play the game of Sudoku is why you're here, right? So a very quick rundown of the rules, because it won't take you long to learn the rules. They're very simple to understand. All that happens is we have a grid, as you can see, and it has 9 squares across and it has 9 squares down. Each row has 9 squares and each column has 9 squares, and you can see that some squares are filled in with digits, and lo and behold, what do we need? We need digits in every square. And what are the range of digits? Well, the lowest is 1, the highest is 9, of course, because there are only 9 squares. And each number cannot repeat, of course, because there are only 9 squares and we need to fit each number in. There's one extra proviso though. You have to also fill in digits 1 to 9 in each of these small blocks, these 3 by 3 blocks. Now, as you can see, some blocks already have 4 numbers filled in, like this one, 5, 2, 6, 1. We already have 4 digits filled in, but look here, an entirely pristine block with no numbers filled in. Oh, how are we going to fill in the numbers there, you ask yourself? Well, we use logic. It's a game of logic, nothing to do with mathematics, this game. We do something like this. We say, let's examine this block here and say, do we have a digit 1 in this 3 by 3 block? And the answer is no, we only have 3 and 6, nothing else. So 1 has to be filled in. How might we go about that? Well, when we look around, we can see there is a digit 1 in this column already, and that means that it cannot reappear. And nowhere else in this column can have a digit 1 because we already have a 1 in this column. And look at this row, we have a 1 in this row. So again, 1 cannot reappear in this row. We also have a 1 here. So in this column up here, I mean, you know, also, of course, in these rows, but we're not interested in the rows. We're just interested in this block here, right? So we have 1 blocking up this row, a column, sorry, down this column and across this row. And we already have a 6 in this square here. So look, we have just 1 white square that could possibly be a 1, and therefore it is a 1. Take my word for it. Because this is a game of logic and it has a unique puzzle. Nothing else can go in that square, only 1 can fit there. Right, now let's do something similar here. We're going to go back in, we're going to go and look for a 1 in this block here. We have a 1 all the way across here, and we have a 1 blocking across here, and guess what? Again, there is only 1 white square. So that's how we play the game. We look for, within a block or within a column or a row, just a single white square where that particular digit can go. Once we've found that, we know we don't have to look any further. It definitely goes there. And that's how we play this game of Sudoku. So it's just using logic, nothing else. This grid up here, this small grid up here, you might say, well, I'm not going to be able to find anything up here because that's entirely empty already. But you will be wrong, because when we search for 5s, we find that 5 blocks across here, up here, and up here. I use the word block, which means disallows. And so the 5 must be in that square there. Got the hang of it now? Right, good. So now you're a Sudoku, you're a fellow Sudokan along with the rest of us, and you can play the game along with us. And don't forget, it is a practical game, so you need to play it by yourself as well. Not just watch these videos, but actually, you know, try the game out for yourself. Now, since the 5s are highlighted, I can see something. When this 5 blocks across this row here, we can see a 5 here like this, right? And now we're going to find a 5 in this row. We've looked for digits within blocks, but now we're going to look for a 5 in this row here. So this square here, can it be 5? Well, there are 2 reasons why not. There's a 5 up here and there's a 5 down here. So double reason why this can't be 5. How about this square? No, we've got a 5 up here already, so that can't be 5, can it? How about this square here? No, we've got a 5 up here, so that square blocks this square. So along this row here, 5 can't go here or here or here, so it has to go there. Now you've really got the hang of it. Right, so I'd like you to find a digit 1 in this column. Go ahead, have a look for it. We're looking for digit 1 because we don't yet have a digit 1 in this column. Have a look, have a look. Right, I think you've found it now. Yes, we have 1 blocking here and we have 1 blocking here, and so that leaves just that square up there, doesn't it? Okay, now how about you finding digit 1 in this block here, our almost empty block where we just have 1 digit. Look for 1. Okay, now you can see the way that the numbers, the blocking lines converge across here and up here, and that's going to give us a digit 1 there. Okay, it's fun, isn't it? But it's more fun when you try it by yourself, believe me. But as I say, this is a basic instructional video, and I'm showing you the basics of how to play the game, and you will have much more fun when you try it yourself. 1 goes there because that's the only location it can go, isn't it? Right, now the missing numbers in this row, when we look along and see what we don't yet have, we find that we are missing 2 and we are missing 6. Those are the numbers that we have. Everything else. We've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. We don't have 2, we don't have 6. So we look up and down the column here and say any help on 2 or 6 here, and the answer is no. And we look up here and say any help on 2 or 6 here, and lo and behold, I think I said that twice today. It must be the festive season. We have a 6 here, so this can't be 6. That has to be 6, and that has to be 2 to finish the row here. Now we have a complete row, our first complete row. We don't have any complete blocks yet, but we do have a complete row. What is missing here? Let me just investigate and see what's missing. We don't yet have 3 or 8. Actually, we can't finish this block off yet. Even though we only 2 digits to complete the block, because we don't have any intersecting 3s or 8s to tell us which is which. So you'll find in Sudoku you're often looking for stuff to see, investigate, and then it sometimes just doesn't work out that you can see something. This block here doesn't yet have a 6, so how about finding it for me? Come on, you don't want me to do all the work, it's Boxing Day. Okay, you can find it in several ways. The easiest way is probably the 6 up here and the 6 across here. But we've also got a 6 blocking this square here. You might have seen that as well. That was unnecessary though. So we can place our 6 here. And when we continue the 6s up top and 6 across the top row and the third row, we find we can place a 6 here as well. But we can't finish off the 6s because they are left in these 4 squares as possible places where the final 2 6s can go. Now if a 6 goes here, a 6 will also be in this square, but if a 6 goes here, the final 6 will be in that square there. So we don't know yet. We have to come back later and find out a bit more about that. Okay, now let's see about this column here. There are 3 empty squares, and when we look through and see what we have already, we find that what we are left with is 4, 7, and 9. Those are the numbers we need to complete these 3 empty squares, 4, 7, and 9. And now I can definitely see something. I can see where the 9 goes. Can you see where the 9 goes? Now I feel like I'm doing children's TV. I know you're not kids, but anyway. Can you see where the 9 goes, children? That would be fun, wouldn't it? Well, can it go here? No, because remember, a 9 can only appear in its... a number can only appear in its block once. So we already have a 9 here, so nothing else. These squares cannot be 9 because we've already got 9 here. Can a 9 be in this square? Look, adjacent to it are very close by and are very easy to see 9. So we've blocked the 9 from both of these 2 squares. But we don't have a 9 in this column yet, and so we know that the 9 has to go there. Now the missing numbers left are 4 and 7, and I think we can see, look, 7, 7 here, both of them blocking this square here, so 7 definitely can't go here twice. 7 has to go there, and then a 4 will finish the column here. Now I'm going to show you how Sudokans think forward a bit because, okay, so far it's all very easy. I hope it's easy, but as you progress a bit, you're going to start to need to think about a what if, and I'm going to show you a kind of what if thing here, how to find digit 4. So, okay, let's see. We have a digit 4 here, and we can see that it blocks up here, and that means it's not allowed in this square here, but it certainly must go in one of these two squares because this is not allowed. Now, can we say where the 4 goes? No, we can't. We don't know where the 4 is, but we know it's in either of these two squares. Now, that's a useful thing for Sudokans, because if the number is in this square here, well, it blocks the rest of this column. And if the number is in this square here, well, it blocks the rest of this column. So it doesn't matter whether the 4 is here or here, it still blocks down here. So neither of these two squares can be 4. Now, when we come back to this 4 and say instead of blocking up, we'll block down. Oops, excuse the screen jumping. I have no idea but why it's doing that, but it is. So we now only are left with two possibilities, two white squares here, but we can see an intersecting 4 here. So now we know, because we know that either of these two squares is 4, we know that this can't be 4, and so the 4 has to go there. Now that's the kind of logic that you'll need to employ once you start getting to the kind of harder levels of Sudoku. That and many other kinds of logic, which makes the game lots of fun and continuously interesting. All the time, it's constantly interesting, even when you progress to very hard levels. Okay, how would you like to find a 9 in this block here? Okay, I've given you long enough. You're not allowed any more time than that. It is Boxing Day, but I'm not being too generous. 9s go across here. Of course, Boxing Day, the time when great estate owners handed out boxes of small gifts to people on their estate. I don't have an estate to go around handing out boxes. Could walk around with a box handing out gifts to paupers. So I won't be partaking of the Boxing Day tradition here. Okay, what do we need now? So, of course, it's a constant search. That's the thing about Sudoku is we're always looking. Where do we look next? That's our most important cry. Where do we go next? What's the next thing to look for? And I don't know because I'm still searching here. I'm still looking for stuff. I have got something, but I don't really want to tell you just yet because I don't want it to confuse you too much as a beginner. So I shall not bother explaining what I can see. Oh, look, silly me. Now, here's the next must-do thing for beginners at Sudoku, and for me, who's very forgetful, and that is to see what's missing in this column, because there's only one empty square, so all we have to do is look through and see what's missing, and we find we don't have a 3, so we know that the 3 goes there, and that's probably going to help us to finish the game. Now we can see the 3 blocking across here. We're left with a single square here, so we know that 3 goes in that square there. Okay, missing numbers in this column are 2, 8, and 9. We don't have 2, we don't have 8, and we don't have 9. But I want you to look at this square here and see if you can find what it is. Remember, we only have a choice of 2, 8, and 9. We know that's all that's left for this column. So this square must either be 2, 8, or 9. Have you got it yet? Okay, so can it be 2? No, because there's a 2 in this square already. Can it be 9? No, because there's a 9 in this block already. So if it's not 2 and it's not 9, we know that it has to be 8, don't we? Alright, now the 8 blocks up here like this, and an 8 blocking across here. So that's going to give us a digit 8 there. Okay, let's do a bit of our imagine. Oh no, we don't need to. 9 blocks down here. We're only missing 2 and 9 here, so that is our 9, and this is our 2 to finish this block. We now have a complete block, so we've got a complete row here, complete column here, and a complete block here. So we are definitely making progress, as you can see. By the way, once you've played a few of these games, it won't take you long to play this kind of a game. This kind of game you can definitely do in 10 minutes. Once you've got so don't be worried that it's gonna, like, you know, Sudoku is gonna be all time consuming. Once you've played several of these games, you're gonna find that you get the hang of it. Not at first, of course. At first it's gonna take you a while, but after some experience in playing these games, you're going to find that they're over pretty quickly, really, at this kind of level, I suspect, anyway. Excuse me. Right, where to go next? Well, since 2 is highlighted, 2 across here, 2 across here, and 2 up here. So that's going to give me a 2 in that square up there. Now, 2 blocks across here like this. So where is the 2? It's either in this square or this square, right? Can't be in these 2 squares. Can we say where it is? No, we cannot. But what do we know? We know that it blocks the rest of this column, right? Because it's here or here. All of this column cannot be a 2. So when we look down here and say, hey, there's no 2 in this block yet, we know that the 2 has to go here, because it's forbidden from those 2 squares, because 2 will be in one of these 2 squares here. 5 blocks this square here, so here goes the 5, and the last number here is a 6 to complete the block. Now 6 blocks across here and 6 blocking down here. Here's our 6. Here. Now we just have one empty square here, and when we look for the missing number, we find it's 8, and then the 8 blocks here, so that gives us an 8 here. You see, we're going a bit faster now because we have fewer options to choose from. Now for you, it might be difficult to see which numbers are missing if you're an absolute beginner, but once you've played a few of these games, you get a bit faster at finding the numbers. We're just one empty square here, and the missing digit that we need to play the game is 9. We have one more square which doesn't have 9. We have 9 in this block, here. So we have 8 iterations of digit 9 already. We don't have digit 9 down here, but we know that we can find it because you can always find the 9th number. There's 9, and now we can add a 7 here to finish this block. 7 blocks all the way up here, so here's a 7. Or you could just say, hey, what was our missing number in this column here? And it was indeed a 7. 7 blocks up here, so that's a 7 there. 7 blocks across here, and 7 blocks up here. So that's a 7, and that was the final 7. We now have 9 digit 7s, and so there are no more to find. Right, what else do we need? We need in these 2 squares here to complete this column or this block. Doesn't matter, it's the same digits, of course. We need 2 and 4. When we look across, we find an intersecting 4 here, so the 4 goes there and the 2 is there. Then we have 2's blocking across here and across here, so here's the 2, and that was the final digit 2. So not much more to go now, just a few bits and pieces. Let's see what's missing from Hup here. Hup here is 3, 4, but don't know which is which. In fact, I should do this one, shouldn't I? Because look, here's only one. I just missed it. Sometimes I miss things around the grid when playing these games live. You just have to accept that that's how it is. I'm a human being playing this game, not a computer. 8 goes there. And what's left now? Okay, 3 blocks up here, so 3 must appear in this square here. And the last number here is a 4 for this block here. 3 blocks across here, so that puts a 3 into that square, and 4 is the last number we need here. 4 blocks across here. So here is the 4 and the 3. We had lots of 4s and 3s there, didn't we? Was the last number that we need there. 4 also blocks down here, so here is the 4. And then happy Boxing Day once again. I'm going to say it twice because I've never said it before in my life. 5 will complete today's Boxing Day puzzle. And our 9 boxes, or our 81 smaller boxes, are entirely filled. Thank you very much for joining me. Come back and if you're new to Sudoku, there is a list of easy level games you can find on this channel. Bye bye.